Hello, my name is Katja Lehr, and I'm talking about the complexity and challenges around cross-border payments. Let me start by recognizing the geo-economical fragmentation as well as the geopolitical risk, which is certainly over the course of the last 9 to 12 months has added a lot of stress and challenges to the overall topic of how to harmonize cross-border payments. Now, the impact can be on a single currency, it can be on a particular payment method. The impact can be various, but it is certainly more complex than what we have seen before. Now, how do we harmonize these rules? It certainly depends lots on the strengths of the political environment and how the relationships between various countries and regions are. I do believe a good example on how I believe harmonization can be achieved is through events like these here at Sibos, where we meet as an industry and, for example, now launch an initiative, the digital initiative as SWIFT announced it. And we need to engage with the authorities, with the policymakers, and keep going and keep working on how we can harmonize these rules and regulations so that ultimately we can actually achieve what we need to achieve for our clients, harmonizing and smoothing cross-border payments. Let me acknowledge that regulation is a complex exercise. Regulation has to balance out different interests and different objectives. Let's take the SEPA instant regulation. On one hand, the regulator wants payments to be faster, more efficient. However, on the other side, they should be safe and reliable. Now, any regulation will always have to balance those different factors. All I'm saying, it is actually not easy. However, I totally believe when we are as humans faced with challenges, we might actually pause for a second and say, oh my God, this is difficult. However, then we move on and we're gonna get it fixed because it is just what we do. We strive to overcome challenges and make it better for our clients. Now, it's not an example out of the financial industry, but remember when we were all forced to wear seatbelts and they were stiff and they wouldn't move, and then they became actually so they would buckle. But what really came out of wearing a seatbelt was the innovation and the invention of airbags. Airbags are no law. However, we all have them in our cars today and we want them in our cars. And this is just one example. And I would say SEPA, while not easy, but when all of Europe came together, 27 countries, 27 payment methods, 27 currencies, we did overcome those challenges and we made it work. It took us a while, and I'm not saying it was easy, but we achieved it. Do I believe there are challenges? Very much so. Do I believe we can overcome them? Absolutely.